Hello, welcome to your 20-minute pick-me-up. Today we are going to do a strength centering practice and we're going to open up the front of the hips. Yay! All right, so with that said, find your comfortable seat. Lift up nice and tall through the spine, all right? From the belly, from the base, lift, lift, lift like a string is pulling you from your head, but allow those hips to relax back. Feel free to close your eyes here and take a few deep breaths in. Or if the eyes are open, that's fine. Just relax your face. Settle into the next 20 minutes or so. You deserve this. I often find that we begin to focus on our weaknesses. We focus on what we need to strengthen. What are we weak on? What are we lacking? So let's put ourselves in an abundance mindset. What are your strengths? What are you good at? And for the next few breaths, you just breathe deeply, and I want you to allow yourself to identify your strengths. Longer exhales. All right. Feel free to open the eyes, interlock the fingers. Just a big stretch to start with. Maybe side bend to one side. There you go. Breathe in your strengths. That's where we want that focus to be. Lift up. Here we go, you guys. We are starting in tabletop today. So the wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath your hips, and then just start to sass the hips side to side. Deep breaths, but not so deep as to where it's hard to breathe. So it's just a casual breath, but it's mindful. We're keeping our mind on the breath, the body, how we feel. We can learn so much about our bodies in these postures. All right, friends, so here we go. Couple cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly. So what we're doing here is we're starting from the tailbone. Think lift the tailbone, drop the belly, then lift the chest. Exhale, tuck the tailbone under, roll all the way up to the neck. Twice more. Inhale. Shoulder blades drop down away from your ears. Exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. And you're welcome to stay right here or tuck the toes, come into downward facing dog. Use the core to get there. Breathe through this. If the knees are bent, that's fine. Move organically here. Because remember, we're going to be holding these poses for longer. So we want to create some movement in between the stillness. All right, now we're going to look forward. Take your back knee or left knee down, right leg forward. There we go. And from here, place the hands on opposite sides of the foot and lift your back knee. This is just for a moment. We're going to get a little bit more comfortable into this. So push through the heel. How does the front of the left hip feel? All right, now let's lower the back leg. Scoot your front foot out a couple inches so that both hands can fit comfortably underneath, or in between, excuse me. And we're going to drop the hips. So a lot of us have a tendency to want to do this. Let gravity work with you. Drop the hips forward. Now your head can be lifted or lowered. It's up to you. Settle in here and take a few breaths. We're going to hold this pose and just let the soft tissue start to marinate in this posture. You're welcome to slowly play around. Tuck the chin. See what a tucked chin does for the stretch. Everything's connected. It's all connected from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. And we are going to be mindful of those connections. Keep breathing here. Maybe you're starting to feel the front hip let go a little bit. As you start to feel that front hip let go, the front of the left hip, think about letting go of this need to focus on our weaknesses. Let your weaknesses go. With each exhale, let them fly by, fly out. And we begin to walk the front foot in a little bit more. Press back very slowly, taking some pressure off of, or stress off of the front hip. Nice, we're straightening the front leg, all right? So if you need to, you can move the back leg back a little bit in order to be able to straighten and keep the hips over the knee. There you go. Just breathe here, feeling a nice stretch underneath the front leg. And let's bend the front leg, and the front leg meets the back leg, or a tabletop, or you can move into downward facing dog with me very slowly. It's just the same thing, pedaling the feet. So maybe bend the right knee, straighten the left, and then switch. Shake the head out. All right, here we come to the knees. Alrighty, the other leg is forward, so left leg forward. Nice, so the hands are framing the foot, tuck the back toe, lift the knee, just see how that feels. All right, we're gonna drop the back knee now, settle into this. Front foot scooches out a little bit, hands underneath the shoulders. We're letting the hip go. Oh yes, feel that stretch. And let's settle in here. With each breath, we're noticing tension and stress leave the hip area. Now your back toe can be tucked or flat. If it's tucked, you may start to feel a little bit more in the hip. Again, just noticing those little differences when you move something tiny on your body. Just being aware. If the knee's starting to bother you, place your blanket there like we talked about a couple videos ago. We're almost there. In what ways can you let go here? We hold emotions in our hips. Is there an emotion that's arising that doesn't serve you? Allow the body to become soft. Your gaze is still soft, the face is still soft. And then push back just a little bit as you begin to walk your front leg in, underneath the shoulder, and then gently press back the rest of the way. Oh yes, dragon pose. That's a tough one, guys. That is a tough one. That's one of those poses where that fight or flight comes in, and you're just really gonna have to teach yourself to, first of all, know the boundaries, right? Know when to stop, but also know when to stay and work through that and ease up in the pose. All right, so let's bend the front leg. It's gonna meet the back leg. Yes, we're gonna come into child's pose. So big toes together, knees open. Now if your big toes don't come together, guys, it's fine. If you wanna make more room for your hips, keep the big toes open, all right? And we're gonna come forward into child's pose, feeling that stretch, maybe I mean, it really depends on where you're tightest today. Allow the belly to sink, the hips to sink back. This forehead or chin on the mat. I know some people prefer a cheek on the mat, and that's fine too. Oh, yes. Inhale to lift up. And come forward, close the legs nice and slow. Make your way back into downward facing dog. Or you can stay tabletop, remember. Shake out the head. All right, so this time, guys, we are moving into swan. So there's a couple different ways to do this. The right leg's gonna come forward and turn out, all right? So I'm gonna do it with my left leg first so you can see. And so the leg actually turns out and we press the hips down. You can place something underneath your front hip, underneath the back hip, whatever feels good for you. Try it out. Remember, you can also do this on your back. So take a nice deep breath in here. Lift the chest, feel a good compression in the lower spine. Now we're not focusing on if we can't do this pose, or we're not focusing on, what's stopping us from doing this pose. We're focusing on the strength, and that one strength is that you pushed play today and you showed up on your mat. All right? So on your next inhale, lift the chest, and exhale, fold forward onto a bolster or the ground, and just breathe through this. We're trying to equalize the weight on both hips, all right? But sometimes when we stay here, we feel that weight shifting to the front leg a little bit, and that's okay. Your front leg may start to feel like it's falling asleep, and when you're ready to, if that's what happens and you want to come out, just come out. If you do come out, come back to tabletop or take a rest just on your belly. Keep in mind, if you'd like to press pause and stay in this longer, that's fine. Otherwise, take 5 more breaths here. 4. Your head can be dropped or lifted. 3. 2. 1. Oh, yes. All right, hands come underneath the shoulders if they're not already there. Tuck your back toe. Use some strength. Lift up, and then the front leg meets the back leg. Find your way into downward facing dog or tabletop. We're always moving slow in between these poses. So while there is movement, it's very slow, methodical, and mindful. And we have the other side. So we can take the other leg. I think y'all did your left leg last time. Comes forward, right leg comes forward. Whichever leg you did last time, opposite one. And I did my left leg first because I just wanted to show you guys how that looks. Now, one side's gonna feel a little different. That's totally normal. Nothing in this world is symmetrical. So neither are our bodies. Lifting up, take your deep breaths in. Lean forward if there's too much crunch in the lower back. Maybe you feel this in the inner thigh, but if you ever start to feel like that burn pull, That's when you know, okay, it is time to come out. That's your body talking to you. Now, when you're ready, exhale, come forward onto the mat, onto your bolster, whatever suits you best. Settle into the stillness. Again, your head can be dropped or lifted. Focus on what you're feeling. What can you release with the next breath? If you want to feel more softness in the shoulders, exhale, just let them relax. Five more breaths. 4, 3, 2, and 1. There we go. So inhale, lift the chest, tuck your back toe, slowly into downward facing dog or tabletop. There we go. Bend and straighten the knees. And we're going to come to a seat. Oh yes, nice comfy seat. So right now the legs are going to go out to a V, okay, our V sit. And you guys, y'all know I love the V sit. There's so much that this is amazing for. But right now, we're going to, maybe feel the stretch in the inner thighs, that's fine. What we're really going to focus on here though is the side bend. So take your right arm behind the leg. Inhale, lift up. And just side bend. The legs are relaxed, the toes are relaxed. Breathe. Inhale, lift up. Long, long spine. We're trying to lengthen on both the right and the left side of the body as you side bend to the other side. How's that opposite hip? So if the right arm is overhead, the right hip is on the mat. And if the hips come up, then maybe you've gone just a little too far. And inhale to rise, rotate the opposite way. Now this rotation is a gentle rotation from the base of the spine, but most of your rotation is going to come from the middle upper back. And switch. So now I want you to think about your strengths, but are you in the mindset and of thinking of your strengths and acting upon those strengths? Putting your attention where your strengths are. And moving forward, come forward, and moving forward in life, presenting those strengths to yourself and to others. All right, you guys, close the legs nice and slow. Excellent. So I hope that wherever you go, wherever the day is taking you, you find a fantastic journey, even if it's from here to the bathroom or here to the bedroom during quarantine. All right, please let me know what questions you have about this. Everything can be modified, adjusted to fit you. And if you wouldn't mind, if you're comfortable with it, write the questions in the comments, because if you have that question, I promise somebody else does. But if you're not comfortable with that, that's fine. Just email me, all right? I love you guys. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, look at that, 20 minutes and 5 seconds. Ah!